How's it going, neighbors? This is Ed here with eTrailer.com, and today we're going to take a look at the Pace Edwards Leer UltraGroove Retractable Aluminum Tonneau cover for your 2024 Ford F-150. When you add a tonneau cover to your pickup, this is an extra way to get additional security and some say fuel economy out of the back of your setup. So let's take a closer look and see what's special about it on our Ford. So as far as how your cover is going to fit, it actually comes right to the edge of your tailgate, and this curving part sits right there on the edge. You have a weather seal here to help keep water out. Generally, they have solid reputations as far as keeping the seals. Now, you're going to have a kind of a longer cord because of the retracting feature, but you have these hook and loop strips on the end where you can kind of mount it to the inside of your bed to get it out your way. As far as on the top, you're going to have a good seal along the edge as well to help keep water out. And this is one of the better benefits if you have your fifth wheel in the bed. It's going to make sure that you keep those elements from the, your fifth wheel hitch. Our inside measurement on the F-150's bed is right at 20 inches, where I feel you would have clearance for your fifth wheel hitch. So that makes a world of difference if you have a taller setup. Also, the fact that it sits on top of your rails makes a difference as far as giving you additional clearance. So let's open this guy up and see how it is in its compacted form. So right here, we're taking up about 13 inches of our bed space. I wouldn't suggest putting something too much underneath the canister, try to keep that area clear. However, you will have some room. So let's see if I can get a measurement from this side. Just eyeballing, looks like you have about 8 to 9 inches worth of space. So maybe you could tuck some folding chairs or sleeping bags or maybe those tent bags right into that space if you're loading down. Your kit is going to ship with brackets for extensions, even if you have the short bed. This is the 5.5 foot bed. But if you were to get the long bed model, it actually comes with longer rails and they connect in the middle. So just to be aware of that, you're not going to need those. And you're going to receive these drain hoses. Now, the canister itself will collect water, it's just no way around it, but there's a system as far as getting that water out. You will have to drill out holes if you already have something like this spray-in liner in your bed and your drain holes are obstructed. Another thing that you're going to want to do is install the bulkhead insulation. This will keep water from coming in at the top into the bed, keeping everything in here dry. And you're going to want to lubricate the rails here using the lubrication wipes. The tools that you're going to need, you're going to need a 10mm socket to take it out the box because there's packing boards on each end, a Phillips head screwdriver, and a panel removal tool. So I'm going to go ahead and get you rolling. So we're going to start our installation from the inside of the bed. One thing that I would suggest is getting yourself a 10mm socket so you can remove these boards that are on the end of our packing. This is just to keep the canister stable in the shipping container. So our goal here now is to take this ridge right here that you have on the other side of this angled cut on your rail to grip the inside of this lip on the inside of our canister. So we're just gonna place it right here, right underneath this intersection part, and just let it rest into place. And then we can actually flip it over and that lip is gonna grab, and then we can just slide her up into position. And you can see now it's attached. Another thing that you want to do beforehand with this setup is you're going to want to pre-wash your bed rail and then pull off this dual-sided tape for your insulation. What this is going to do for you is going to help keep water out of your bed. So let's go ahead and set this guy up for the other side of our install. Now we're going to secure our rails to the canister using our Phillips head screwdriver. You're going to have a lock washer and a flat washer. It's going to go right into this hole underneath here. The instruction manual gives you two different options as far as assembling outside of the bed and in the bed. I started in the bed, but I found that outside of the bed gives you enough flexibility to make adjustments for your rails to get your hardware fastened. Now that you have the rails assembled to the canister, you want to grab a second set of hands to get it positioned back in the bed. From here, we're going to put the cover on our canister. You want to make sure that you already unwrapped your pull handle so you don't have any issues fishing it out. And you're just going to align this guy right on top. And you're gonna use your included black screws to secure it to the top. Your tonneau cover rails are going to be supported by 4 of these brackets. For this particular model truck, you're only going to have 3 pieces to each one of your brackets. You're going to have this spacer here that actually grips underneath the bed rail. You want to make sure that all of the slanted sides are pointing towards the center of the bed. And you're going to put this guy right here along the track on the underneath side of your rail. From here, you want it to look like this. This is what's creating the space between the rail and the bed rail. And then you're gonna thread it through this bolt. Thread your bolt through your hardware. Now, I found, once I did the other 3, that you might wanna run your bolt through beforehand before you start messing with it, just to clean up the threads a little bit. But after I ran it through one good time on each one of them, it was all right. And actually, 2 of them were fine, but the other one of them I had to do that. So let's go underneath and I'll show you how to get it on that track. So now you're gonna look for the open section on the track right here, and that's gonna give you your point to grip on your bracket. The powder coat is kind of thick, so you're gonna have to kind of work it on. And you wanna definitely make sure you're not fully tightened on both clamps on the front and rear. But once you maneuver it a little bit, you'll be able to get it on the track. There we go. From here, still making sure our curve is pointing towards the center of the bed, we're gonna get this guy in position. Now you're gonna wanna check for clips on the top of your bed rail to make sure that you're not interfering with any of those things. And we're just gonna get this guy started. Once you get your rails on, I would suggest taking a trim panel tool, coming back through, and just getting that insulation to the outside. This is gonna allow it to keep the water from getting on the inside of the bed, along with the seal that's underneath the rail itself. Now that we have everything installed, let's check it out. So you see this guy is coming in, it locks into place, and let's see if it just retracts automatically. So see, it did not. So with that tells me that the rails themselves need to be adjusted some. So this is an easy fix. We're just gonna go back into the bed and make adjustments with those black knobs. 2 things, now that we've made adjustments to our brackets, made sure everything was nice, tight, and secure. That was key 1. I noticed that it shifted a bunch while testing to try to troubleshoot it, and it was just due to the fact that all 4 clamps didn't have equal pressure. So you wanna check for that, and lubrication along the track itself. So now we have those 2 things corrected. We're good to go. And you can see that we fit right onto the edge of our bed without any issue or obstruction to the tailgate itself. As far as securing the strap itself, you have an included Velcro strap that you can put on the inside just to keep all this, in check. It's quite a bit. And right there makes it just that easy to completely secure the bed of your truck. To manage the extra long cord that you have for the handle, you actually have a hook and loop strip with a corresponding end on the handle that allows you to manage that extra long handle. In general, for your pickup, this is going to give you an extra measure of security because your bed is going to be wide open, and it'll keep things like your fifth wheel, tools, and toys all safe. In general, when you're adding a tonneau cover, you just wanting to have that extra measure of security and safety to the back of your vehicle, and possibly additional fuel economy. Having a hard cover is going to make sure you keep all your accessories and gear safe so you can make those memories. And speaking of memories, here at eTrailer, we would love for you to send in photos of your setup, send some reviews, just let us know how you're using your products, because here we're a community of enthusiasts and we just love sharing that information and seeing how you're using your gear. So again, this is Ed with eTrailer.com, taking a look at the Pace Edwards Leer UltraGroove Retractable Aluminum Tonneau Cover. Have a great day.